Hello and welcome to the kitchen of the Willow Rose Cottage. Today I'm trying something very new. It's the new year, well it's New Year's Eve and tomorrow's the new year, and I'm kind of toying with the idea of not wearing makeup. I'm growing my hair out into its natural color, so it's white in the front, it's kind of dark in the back, but I've decided to go ahead and stop coloring it, that light blonde that I've been doing. And I'm working on something today, and I've been working on it all morning, and it's probably about 1:30 or 2 right now, so it's been going on all morning, but all of a sudden I just decided I wanted to share it with you. So let me show you what I'm doing. So here I'm taking old beeswax candles that I made a long time ago that I never used, and I'm melting down the wax, and then I'm going to put the wax in to here, and then it will come out looking something like this. And so I'm using the wax, and here's some other various forms of beeswax that I found earlier today that I'll be using. So here you can see I have the wax where was the bulk of the candle, and then this is the wax that melted while I was putting it in the double boiler, and then here are the wicks and that I took out, and I'm going to go ahead and throw these away. And then here's my jars, and what I'll need to do is I'll need to scour out these jars, and I'll need to clean them really, really well and sterilize them. And so they are gonna, oops. Oh well, it's just wax. Okay, they're gonna go into the kitchen sink to be cleaned. And here are my other jars and containers that I'm going to use to hopefully put the salve in and fill them up. So these are the lids to the other 3 jars. And you might be asking, well, what are you going to be doing? Well, I'm going to make some salve with some plantain, and I have been slow macerating this in grapeseed oil, cold pressed grapeseed oil, for about maybe 4 hours now. So this is what it's looking like. So I ground up all of the plantain herbs. It came in pretty large pieces, and I ground it up into as much dust as I could. And the reason I do that is because when you break the plant fibers apart, it releases new fiber energy from the fibers that are being broken. There's probably a technical word for that, but here is comfrey. And so I'm also infusing my cold pressed grapeseed oil with comfrey, and you can see it's pretty finely ground. Maybe could have been ground a little bit finer, and you'll see the oil is starting to turn a dark color, so that means it's getting close. And that's why I'm getting all of my beeswax ready. So my next step is going to be once the oil is infused with the herb mixture, I'll bring one over, probably the plantain, and I will pour the oil into here, and it'll seep through. It'll be caught up in the bottom, and then what I'll do is take this out and wring it out and get all the oil out and capture all the herbs in here. And then once that's done, I will pour the mixture into my double boiler with the beeswax, and then I'll get a nice consistency, what I think is a nice consistency. And then once that's done, I'll have my jars lined up here. I'll pour the mixture into my jar. Okay, so a lot of people will probably be saying, no, don't do that, because it'll cool down and it'll start getting right. And that's probably true, but I can just heat it right back up because I want to be able to pour it gracefully into my jars without it spilling, because I'm kind of clumsy sometimes, as we've already noticed. You might be wondering why I'm making plantain and comfrey salve. Mostly because I'm beat up, I'm battered up. My little puppy, he does a lot of damage to me without really realizing it. I mean, he doesn't mean to. We know that. That's obvious. But I have a lot of bruises too, which I won't show you. So comfrey is really, really good for bruises. And plantain is really, really good for cuts, scrapes, insect bites, which I'm not really worried about, dog bites, which I am worried about. He's only bit me once, and it was by accident, and it was my toe. I was getting into bed and he was trying to jump up and get into bed with me, and I guess he was being impatient. I was taking too long, so he just chomped down on my toe and drew blood. And so yeah, so it's just little things like that. So I'll have some salve on hand when he bruises me or he breaks me in any way. I can kind of bandage myself up. The other thing, the next thing I'm going to probably start doing is I'm going to make a salve for arthritis because my hand is not getting better. So that's another video for another time. But I just wanted to share a little bit with you what I'm doing, and I'll bring you along. Come along. While I'm waiting for the herbs to finish infusing, I'm going to make myself a little lunch. I'm going to make myself some pinto beans, and I've already made my wild rice here. So I'm going to heat up my pinto beans and have some beans and rice for my lunch this morning or this afternoon, and a little bit of Lady Lavender Earl Grey tea. So yay, give me a little energy. Some of you might be wondering why my beans are so dark. It's because I cook my beans in cast iron, and I have made the decision to go ahead and get rid of most of all my other pots and pans, with the exception of this one because I love it so much, my double boiler, and I think that's it. And I'm going to start using all my cast iron exclusively. I went out into the barn, I found a bunch of it. Oh yeah, and this one I'm going to keep too, my little red kettle. So I have two kettles here. I have one kettle here and two lids. I have two kettles here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have one hidden in here. 7 pans. So one of the things that happened is that when my grandmother was born in 1900, and when she passed away, her skillets went down to my mother. And then my grandfather on the other side of the family, when he passed away, those skillets went to my mother. So then when my mother passed away, those skillets went to my brother and myself. And my skillets were packed up because the person I was married to at the time didn't like cast iron. He didn't want to cook. He was the cook. He did all the cooking, and so he didn't want to cook. So I mean, I didn't want to cook. He didn't want to cook in cast iron. So I had packed them up, and they've been packed up for like 20 years, and they're actually out in the barn. All of mine are actually still out in the barn. All the ones I just showed you were the ones that were my mom's. So when my mom died, I got some of them because by that time my ex and I were not together anymore. So I got half of them, my brother got the other half, and then when he died, I got his half. So this is only part of my collection that I have. And so yeah, so I made a decision because, as you know, I've been trying to do the cooking thing for a long time. I've been trying off and on. Hold on, turn off my beans. I've been trying off and on since I got a divorce, and I really, really, really want to learn how to cook good and wholesome and fabulous healing foods for myself. And so that's one of the things I'm I'm looking at for this new year, so I'm getting myself prepared. I've already made my beans. I mean, I know how to cook. I know how to cook really simple foods because that's, I don't know. I'm not a big like fish fillet, salmon cooking thing, teriyaki stuff, pad thai. I love eating it. I don't know how to cook anything exotic except for, I mean, the only thing I really know how to do is beans and stew and soup and really, really wholesome kind of home kind of meals. So I'm working on that. So I just wanted to show you my skillets and talk about that while my beans cook. Now my beans have cooked and now they're getting cold because I turned them off and I continued my story instead of attending to my beans. So I'm going to go ahead, have my lunch, drink my tea, and then I'm going to start working on my diffusions. So here's my beans and rice. So there's the rice, there's the beans. It has bacon in it. And so it doesn't need any seasonings because I've already seasoned the beans and the rice. So we're good to go. And yeah, it looks great. So I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and pour the entire mixture into here and pour the mixture into here because that's how I usually do it. I was going to change it up, cut out a step, but I'm just not feeling okay about doing that, about cutting out a step. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pour the mixtures into each one of these, and then I'll let them sit overnight, and then tomorrow I'll finish up with making the actual salves. So these both have been simmering on low in my little crock pot. So I'm going to stir this up one last time, give it a good go. And this screen will just catch all the larger pieces. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of pushing all this through. And it doesn't matter if I get some of that dust in there because this last processing will catch it. So believe it or not, I've been working with herbs since I was 19 and pregnant with my first daughter, my only daughter, my first child. And I did share with you a long time ago about how I lived up in the mountains on 180 acres in Trinity County, California, and we didn't have any like heating. We had a huge wood burning cook stove that provided all of our heating for us, and no telephone, no electricity. It was an adventure for sure. I had 2 children with me up there. Had my third after we came back. And so I started my herbal journey then, and there was a magazine called Mothering that had herbal things in it, and I just kind of got exposed to it through that magazine. And back in those days, this magazine was really hard to find, and it was all newsprint. Now it's super slicky. I don't even know if it's still in production, but back then it was all the artwork, and I've lost them over the years. I wish I still had them, but all the artwork was block prints. So there was nothing in it that wasn't either block print or like typed out and then copied onto like newsprint paper. It was really a wonderful time of my life, and I think back to it. And you think that if I've been doing herbs for, let's see, my daughter's 45, for 45 years, I'd be a lot better at it, but I'm not consistent. And as with anything, you need to be consistent in order to gain and grow your skills. I am a certified herbalist, but I don't do a lot of herbs. So I'm kind of hoping to change that in the new year. So This is my plantain. And another thing I long for is a composting bin, but I don't have a garden. And the reason I don't have a garden is because I'm always thinking I'm moving. And after almost 9 years, I still haven't moved, but I've been very hopeful. And I don't have chickens for the same reason, because I just think I'm going to move. And so once I finally find my forever home and I move into that home, I'm going to get chickens and bees and plant a garden and do all the wonderful things. So, but for now, I just kind of trudge along and do what I can when I can. So now you're going to see, I'm going to kind of turn this. Hopefully you can see a lot of the sludge that was left behind, and some is going in there, and I'm going to stop it now. I don't need that oil. So I'm just going to go ahead and press this oil. Still a little hot. It smells so good. It smells just so good. So I'm going to press the oil out of this little mesh cloth. And then I'll show you there'll be a minimal amount left in the mesh cloth. And I do wash these and reuse them. Hope that's not like insanitary. But I did want to show you how much more the mesh cloth caught. So we have this, and I have this beautiful plantain oil. Just going to go ahead and rub it on my arm right now because it's hurting from the scratches. He jumps on me, which is fine. And he just scratches me. So here's a couple more right here. So I have them all over. And like I said, I have bruises. The Comfrey will help the bruising all over. So anyway, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up my tools, and then I'll do the exact same thing I just did with the Comfrey. And once I have both of them in the jars, I can then take my beeswax, melt it all down, well, half of it, because I'm doing two, which is kind of, I'm complicating things. I'm doing 2 batches of 2 different things at the same time, but why not make it complicated? Don't, come here, come here. So it's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have made the decision to wait until tomorrow to do my beeswax infusion. And so I've decided that I'm going to take Louie for a walk because he's been such a good boy this whole time I've been working. He's just been laying by my feet being such a good boy. So I think we're going to go for a little walk in Columbia. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit, and even though I'm not afraid of the sprinkles and Lou is not afraid of the sprinkles, we don't want it to start, I almost said snowing, we don't want it to start raining really hard and get caught in the rain. So we're going to start heading back home. So here's one of the ironies of life. Tonight I put some plantain oil. I haven't made the salve yet, but I put some oil on my arm because it's all beat up. And this guy has decided that he loves the smell, taste, all the things of the plantain oils. I literally had to put this gardening glove on. This gardening glove is supposed to like be the most rugged thing, like on the like commercial or the ad or whatever, they show you they're grabbing it with like a pitchfork and they can't rip it. So, ow! That hurt. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I put the plantain salve on my arm because I have wounds from this guy, but he likes the plantain oil more, what do I do? So now I have this on and he's just like biting through it. Licking it. That's what he was doing before I put this thing on. He was licking my arm. So now he's biting me because he's trying to pull, I think he's trying to pull the glove off so that he can get to the plantain oil. This is why I haven't been vlogging over the last 2 weeks. This is my life. Like, it's over and over and over and over and over. One of these days he's going to grow up and he'll stop this nonsense. But I made chamomile tea and I put chamomile tea in his water and then I let him out to drink the water. And I think it's working. I think the chamomile's working. I think we're going to, sorry about the weird design on my face. That's coming from my light. I have a crocheted shade on my lamp. This is a crocheted lamp shade I have, so it kind of casts a funny little crocheted pattern all over my bedroom. So I apologize for the crocheted lamp shadowing. So I think the chamomile's working. I put it in his water. He drank it. I think he likes the chamomile too. So if he likes the plantain, I think he likes the chamomile. So I'll just give him chamomile every night, all day, all the time. Make him just sleep through his puppyhood. I feel so evil. Good night and Happy New Year. Good morning and welcome back. Today's day 2, day 1 of the brand new year, and I'm gonna finish my herbal salves to deal with my bits and bruises from my puppy. So I did survive the onslaught of friendly fire last night, and what I did was I finally just got up. I made a full pot of chamomile tea. I tossed out his water from his water bowl and I filled it up, and he's always super excited when I fill up his water from his water bowl. So I filled it up about halfway, maybe a little more, and then I topped it off with some chamomile tea, and I kind of was like hovering around to see if he was gonna, reject it or if he liked it, and he really likes it. So I have to tell you, I'm a little tempted just to keep keep chamomile in his water bowl. Maybe it'll calm him down and get me through puppyhood. So moving on, I just wanted to let you know the little resolution that our resolve I had for the inability to fall asleep last night. Also, I did want to point this out because in my yesterday video, I did talk about how I'm experimenting without wearing makeup, or, you know, I just want to not wear makeup. And I'm going to talk about that in a whole nother video where I'm kind of talking about some of the changes I want to make over the new year. And so I did find some lip chapstick. I thought it was Burt's Bees. I bought it ages and ages and ages ago, and I've never really used it. And I found it, which is another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to throw out all the stuff I don't use, but I don't want to preempt myself by talking about what my next video is going to be about. However, I did find this, so I don't know if this is cheating. You let me know if is this wearing makeup? If it's like chapstick? But it's not Burt's Bees. It's called the Naked Bee. And I think that's kind of a trick because I thought it was Burt's Bees, but it's not. But let me know. Am I cheating? Maybe I am. Oh, I should put this in my pocket so I have it, because it does wear off. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna make the salve now, and balm. It's gonna be balm. So, or salve, I don't know. Just so you know, Louis will not be making an appearance because he got tossed outside. Just as I was setting up, getting ready to start filming, he ran like crazy to the back of the house. So that was weird. So I followed him and he peed. So he got kicked outside. He likes it out there anyway. It's a really, really big yard. It's all fenced in now. Finally, Nikki came in and fenced it all in for me. And he loves it. He can stay out there forever just sniffing everything. So I put away the other containers and I've decided I'm going to do one of each in these. And then any overflow I'm going to put in here. And then I think I'm going to gift these to a friend. So I have a friend that's always gifting me herbal stuff, which I just absolutely love. And so I think I'm going to return the favor to her and gift her a set of Plantain and Comfrey for scrapes and bruises. So the first thing I need to do is fill my bottom pot with water. So I've done that. Turn that on. And this is the pot my beeswax will go into, and it sits on top of the water so that, oh my gosh, look. I got rice splatters when I was making my rice yesterday. Oh well. Piece of rice got in here. Let me get it out. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and do my plantain first. So here's my plantain. Here's my little label. And this is about how much I have. So what I'll do is I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the wax in. So here's my wax. I showed you yesterday. So I have this whole kind of thing of wax. I'm gonna put a couple of these in. So I'm gonna put those in. I'm gonna let them melt, and then I'm going to stir the liquid in until it has a good consistency, and I'll share that with you when that starts to happen. But for now, this is gonna take a while, so I'm going to let this melt down, and as it's melting down, I'm gonna go check on Louis. So this is me stalking Louis. I have this huge window, and I go over to this window if I haven't found him yet. I look out here, then I looked, oh, there he is. And if I hadn't found him just now, I would go over to this window, and I can look out this window. I can see that fence back there, if he's breached that, which he hasn't learned to do yet, but I'm waiting for that. And then I can go over here and I can look down this little walkway right there and see if he's there. This is one of his favorite places to dig, right here. So I often find him just right outside the door. Here he comes. Here he comes. So let's see. Okay, here he is. He's protecting me. He's protecting the doorway. What a good boy. Okay, so all my beeswax is melted. You can kind of see that. And now comes the tricky part. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't made a salve for about a year, so I'm going to do this really slowly. And I'm trying to remember. I think the like ratio is 1 to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm pouring in the plantain oil. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in. You can kind of see how the plantain oil is helping the wax to solidify, but we don't want that. We're going to go ahead and melt it all the way down. I do a little test. There's way too much wax in there. See, it's already made of wax. There is no savvy part to that, so I'm going to go ahead and I think use the rest of this, and I may have to put in, well, see, it's more of that fine dust has settled to the bottom, so I may have to go ahead and put some more grapeseed oil in just to kind of get the ratio right. Hopefully not. I did want to save some of that plantain oil, but you know what? I can make more. So this looks better. You can kind of tell how it's thick like that. So it's not as watery. So that's looking really good. So let's go ahead and see how that's gonna shape up. Actually, it's still just a little stiff. I mean, I could use it. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and call that good. So I think that's good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just call that good. Take it off the heat. Wow, that just feels so good on my hands. Okay, so I told you yesterday that I was going to go ahead and pour it into a container with a spout so that I could pour it gracefully. However, I did not do my dishes like I was supposed to do. So that container is dirty from yesterday's work. Here we go. Let me see, can I get it so that you can see it? Oops. So it looks like I'm going to have more than one container of this. So I'm going to go ahead and use the container I had prepared for my comfrey salve, but I'm going to use that and then get another one prepared for the comfrey salve. So here we go. Number 2. And then one for my friend, a little bit more for you, a little bit more for you, a tiny bit more for you. And that's it. So what I'll do is I'll let them cool now, and then I will go ahead and put the lids on them and label them and put them away. Oh, that's not what I was going to say. I got distracted because I have a little bit right here and I wanted to see if it was savvy. So I'm going to stick my finger in it and I'm going to let you see. It is a little stiff, but I think, you know, with some body heat, it'll work. So, oh, I should have put that on my wounds. Use it all up to make this. However, I think I do have too much wax in it, and I will admit that. When I do my comfrey salves, I will use far less wax. That's how you learn, right? You do and you learn. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because it'll take a while. I don't think you need me to, I don't think you need to watch me do the comfrey because it's going to be exactly like this, and it's going to take a while for me to get the other jars out, clean them, sterilize them, and get them all ready. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure we decided to go on together. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your first day of the new year, and I will be putting another video out hopefully today. I don't know because I have some stuff I need to take care of. You know, like walk Louie, so that so he's not so crazy, but the chamomile helped last night, so we're gonna keep that up. So, and also I'm going to start looking up and researching. There was a section in my herbal class about animal medicine, and so I'm going to look at that and see. I know valerian root and chamomile are safe, and both of those are really like calming and relaxing herbs that humans take, and I know they're safe for dogs as well in moderation. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on a little recipe where I can make him doggy treats. And then I'm going to give him one probably like an hour before we're trying to settle down to sleep. And I think that might help. We'll see. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay tuned and stay whimsical.